This is the power on sequence for the Worship Center media booth. All right, we're going to begin with the light board. The light board computer always stays on. You'll see the blinking light here. So the monitor is the only thing that's off currently. We'll turn it on at the bottom here. And once it's turned on, we'll need to wake up the computer. We do that by pressing the space bar. And we'll wiggle the mouse and give it a second. All right, now it's woken up. I'm gonna take the mouse and navigate on the screen. I'll click anywhere on the screen and then a password will come up. Worship is the password. Enter. Once we get on the screen, we're looking for an icon. It's called the ONYX, and it's here near the bottom, and it looks like a little computer screen. We'll click on it, and that's going to start the light sequence turn on procedure. All right, when we get to the screen, we're going to go continue James Island Baptist Church. Once we click on that, we're going to see that the lights will change, hopefully. All right, once it does that, the Worship Center lights will probably turn off. Even if they don't, it's okay at this point. Okay, so there's a box that says AM Worship Service. Click that and activate those light cues. You'll see a list here. It says pre-service, and that's fine. The turn on button is the triangle at the top of this box, and the box is the off button. So we're gonna use our mouse and click on the triangle, and you'll see that the lights have now turned on and our creative lights are on. At this point, we're gonna go to the master power box. When it's turned up to enable, then this button becomes active and we can turn it on. Once it starts clicking, after we've pressed it, we're going to turn the key back to disable so it won't accidentally be touched and turn the system off. So as it's powering things on, the soundboard has now come on. Here on the soundboard, we're going to go to the right portion of the board and we're going to find the word view. Right now there's two view buttons. We're looking at the bottom one here. And as we push that button, we're gonna see the screen changed. So we're gonna have to navigate to the word screens. Currently it's on cues. To do that, we're gonna push the right page select button. And as we do that, now we are on scenes and we can use, I think, any of the buttons to navigate to the correct date. Right, so this Sunday is 5/3. So I'm going to push load at this point once we've selected the correct date. I'll push load and it asks me load scene, and I'm going to confirm by pushing this button here. All right, now once we get here, we're going to use the main and turn it up to 0, which we call unity. And then we're going to push this bottom button here and then bring the button to 10. Now you'll notice that there's some sound in the Worship Center. If we just press 1 here, 1 will mute all the channels. And when the iPad's turned on, that'll go away. Okay, move to the right here. We're gonna go to the presentation computer. We're going to turn it on in the back right, and then we'll wait for the computer to turn on. All right, once it turns on, we're going to move the mouse to the box and enter the password, which is worship. And enter, and it will begin loading. All right. You'll see this computer wants to open everything it can. So we're gonna just X out. We don't need the browser, and we don't need it to connect with FaceTime, so we'll just choose later. And it'll pop up many times, just always push later. Now we're gonna open ProPresenter, which is this icon here. I'll double click on it. While it's thinking about opening, you're gonna see a screen, and then there's a bar that'll appear on the left. You wanna wait for that bar to go all the way to the top. While that's doing that, I'm gonna come over here to this monitor. I'm gonna go to the back. I'm gonna push the power button on in the back, and it should bring this up. And there we go. Then we're gonna come over here to the remote tray. We're gonna pull the remote out and turn the projector on, and you'll see the green light turn on. Put the remote back. Now we are at the ProPresenter computer again. Once again, the browser has opened. We're going to close it. And our bar is all the way to the top now. Now it's safe to push continue. Now, if you'll navigate the mouse to the left portion, you'll see playlists. I don't know what will be appearing, but always just make sure that the AM worship is chosen and the correct date is chosen. All right, so once you've done that, then you'll have the order appear in the bottom section. And if I use the mouse wheel to go up or down, I'll see that it changes the view a little bit. So I want to go to the very top where it says pre-service setup. I'll click on it, and now all the slides appear as the AM service that you've selected. I'm just going to click the James Island Baptist Church at the very top, pre-service setup, and when I do that, we should have the screen on the back come up. Go back to the remotes. I'm going to pick the second remote up that's in the front. This one says balcony screens. Okay, I'll take this remote out of the media booth, behind the media booth to the TVs. All right, so I'm going to click the power button, and once I do, you'll see a screen that asks for some instructions, and so I'm going to use the left-right button here, the right button to navigate to computer, and then I'll push OK in the middle, and we have our slides. All right, after we've done that, we're going to put the remote back in the tray. It says remotes. Okay, next, I'm going to turn the TV monitors in the worship center on, and in the back foyer. The remote is kept in the top drawer here, and it works both the Foyer computer monitor and the confidence screen monitor in the worship center. All right, and you'll see a light came on in the bottom left. And move to the camera in the worship center. All right. So on the back center camera, there's a monitor here. The bottom right button turns it on, and then we'll come up here to the camera. We're going to take the lens off. We'll set it down, and if you look at the very top of the camera, there's a button, right, that says on, off. We'll slide it on by moving it to the right. Then we're gonna move to this camera. This camera is our unmanned camera. Okay, so I've climbed up on these stairs here. The table does not support my weight. I'll only put my foot here just to catch myself with a little bit better balance. All right, same thing here on the top. I'm gonna go to the top button and I'm gonna move it to the right. And as I do it, we'll see the stage. Now this is more important that you center the stage area with the camera, because there won't be anybody here to do that manually. All right, right here we are in the control room. The password to get in is 0, 1, 2, 3. In the bottom right, pound. It beeps for just a short time for you to turn the handle and open. Okay, here in the control room, there's a lot to turn on, but we always start with the Furman power conditioner. Okay, if we go to the right bottom, it says on and off here. We're gonna push to on. After we've done that, we're gonna come here to the director's computer. We'll turn it on at the back right, and we'll let it be doing its thing. Usually takes that one a minute to turn on. Then we'll keep moving to the left. This is our campus slides computer, and it always stays on. We only dim it or brighten it. Those two buttons are at the top right, dim and brighten. And so as I push and hold brighten, you'll see the screen will appear. That's all you need to do with this computer. Next, we'll slide to the left here. The most important thing you're gonna do in this order is turn the Apollo Twin on. We do that, the bottom, back. There's a little toggle switch and you're gonna push it to the left. And you'll see lights begin to appear. The Apollo Twin always has to be on before the computer. If not, it's going to throw the broadcast audio off, and that's a big ordeal to bring back online. So once the Apollo Twin is on, then it's safe to turn the computer on. And the on button on this one is on the back left-hand side, and you can see it's very difficult to find. You'll hear it come on. You'll see a light here come on. Computer. You'll see that it has turned on now, and we're going to take our mouse, wiggle the mouse, and enter the password at the bottom here, which is worship. And enter. As it opens, you're gonna direct your attention to the right on top of the desk. All right, so it's opened now. Let's move to the right. You see the Nano keyboard here, Korg NanoKey2. The top left button, push it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you've pushed it 4 times, it'll start blinking red. That means it's enabled and ready to go. Okay, so direct your attention back to the computer screen. We want to open Logic Pro. It's this icon here. I'll take the mouse and I'll double click on it. And it'll bring up the program. And as it does, you'll see a program in the center called Broadcast Template. Okay, you're gonna take your mouse, navigate to that, and double click on it. Okay, then once we get to here, we're going to move the mouse and wiggle it in this gray area on the far left channel here, so that this left-hand channel is highlighted. Once it's highlighted, we're going to make sure that the auto tune is working. So on this screen, you're going to see A sharp here. And if we go to the Nano keyboard, push any one of the keys here, let's say G. Once I push G, it should change the F sharp or the A sharp to G. And look, it does. And I can push any of those and they change. So we're good to go there. We move to the right to the Touch Behringer. We'll turn this on here on the to the side of the power cord by pushing it. And then it'll start the sequence. Here, this is our outdoor computer. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a little attention. Sometimes this computer has to be turned on. If it does, and if this light is not on, then you're gonna turn it on the back right-hand side, and then you'll wait for the light. And once you do that, you'll just wait for this computer to turn on, and it just happens to be on, so we're gonna move the mouse. There's two programs that this computer powers. The song, Spotify, and then the Air, which is our mixer. So we're gonna open both of those programs by clicking on them to work on. So we're gonna click on Spotify so that it's on top now. Anyway, we're gonna click the triangle button that says Praise and Worship Play. All right, so I'm gonna click it, and now you'll see is the pause button. That means that it's playing. And now we can go to the Air program here at the bottom. Let's click on that. And you'll see that on the far left bar, there's a green volume line. It's showing that there is volume going to this channel. But you'll also see that the word mute is in red. Click the red mute button and it should turn white. Once you've done that, then the music should be playing outside. Next, we're going to move back to the director's computer or the Livestream computer. We're going to need to enter the password, worship, enter, and we'll let it open. All right, so this computer is ready when the ATEM software appears on the right screen. All right, so once it does, then we'll look over here, and the browser already started to open on its own. All you'd have to do is click well, you don't even have to do, just one S will bring up subsplash.com login. And once you do that, all you have to do is push enter. Log in to Subsplash. Brings you to the manage your Subsplash screen. We'll use the wheel on the mouse to navigate down the page to where it says login. When we choose login, it should automatically open, and we're gonna navigate to the left side where it says media. Click it. Then this is a live stream computer, so we're gonna go to live, and then once we do that, we just leave it alone. That's ready. Now we need to turn the TVs on. The remote is kept in the white bin here, and it controls all 4 TVs. Just aim to the letters TCL, and as you aim it, it'll turn it on. And you're good to go.